What's going on, everybody? I first want to say thank you. Thank you, Team Sweet. Been getting so much positive feedback from this YouTube channel. People are texting, calling, just telling me to keep doing what I'm doing. So I appreciate that. It's about the community for me, so make sure that you guys like and subscribe so we can get noticed online. Help increase the following, help increase Team Sweet. I know I've been out for a couple of weeks, maybe a few weeks, just been taking care of some stuff, but I'm back at it, back on the lab. Today I got a really dope video for you guys. I had a conversation with my boy Didas, that's little bro. We intentionally tried to talk about sneakers, but the conversation went a little bit left. So as he started talking, you'll notice that we'll go right into the conversation. We were already in the conversation and I just hit record because I thought it was good and I didn't want to miss out on anything. So it may start abruptly, but just go ahead and follow the conversation. It's a pretty dope conversation. Didas is a dope dude. We talked about entrepreneurship, we talked about his filmmaking business, culture, even some therapy stuff. So really great episode. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Make sure that you like and subscribe by the end of this video. Let's get into this conversation. You know, believe it or not, man, you got people on the outside looking at you like, man, I'm proud of you, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That speaks volumes because you never know who's watching.
Yeah.
You got to make sure at all times. It's crazy because a lot of people they wouldn't say nothing and they would, all that. And for me, like, I used to be in a place where, like, I used to not get that from my folks, from my family, my immediate family, but I would get it from people outside of that. So I would be in my feelings. So being in therapy and dealing with that, it was just like, man, I don't really need their approval to do anything. But it's crazy because God has been so good to the point where my dad is coming around and he's like, okay, where you about to go to next? You about to do another shoot? It's like he's embracing it now.
Yeah.
Before it was just like, he was just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But now he's like, my mom, same thing. Like for them, my mom, she's like had that entrepreneurial spirit since we've been kids.
I got you.
Just, age caught up, and then my mom, she got sick as well at one point. So when it came down to it, she wasn't able to kind of like, do the things she wanted to do. But now it's like she's in a place where, like, and I don't know if you saw my mom, she was actually at church first Sunday of the month. That was my first time. Yeah, so that was the first time I went to church with my mom in a long time.
Wow.
And just what was spoken over her were things that my mom has been walking in since I've been a baby.
Wow.
So it's like, I mean, for me, like my mom, she has that prophetic anointing too. She has that intercession spirit. So, I mean, I'm a product of that. My brothers, same thing. Like my older brother, my younger brother, even though he want to kind of do his own thing, he can't run away because we kind of marked. We are marked.
Right.
My mom just had visions, dreams about us. So it's like, he can't run away.
Now, are y'all from this area?
No. So I was born in the DMV. My brother too. My parents are from Benin, which is in West Africa, Nigeria. My parents actually were born in Benin, and then they actually went to school in Nigeria. So between the two, I have family members between Nigeria and Benin. And then my mom has relatives that are from Togo, which is actually west of Benin. So it's like on that line of like Ghana, Benin.
I got you.
Like, so my mom, she can speak like their language fluently. So my mom speaks like 5 languages.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, to this day, in her old age. So, but yeah, I got the African background. My dad's background is kind of a little different because he kind of, so my dad was raised in a half family, kind of like a blended family. So my grandfather had 2 wives. And my dad was a product of one of the wives.
Okay.
So that's why, like, I have a lot of cousins, half nieces, half nephews, all that. So my family with my dad's side is really big. My mom's side, my grandmother's the only living person that I have in terms of a grandparent, but I've never seen her in person. I've just heard of her. So it's like, that's one of the things that I want to do is, and it's crazy, I'm getting really, I'm telling you about my story and stuff, but my parents have, my mom, every time I clock a year, or every time she clocks a year in May, every time my birthday comes around, my mom has spent at least 26 to 27 years in this country without going back home.
Wow.
Same thing with my dad. He's been here. He came in 83, so about 30, about mid 30s. Like 30 plus years, he hasn't been back home.
Wow.
So my ultimate goal, one of my goals, is to make sure that they go back home. And I send them back home.
So, and if I'm going too deep, man, just let me know.
Nah, you're not. I feel like you're a big brother to me. So yeah. I definitely, as I'm sharing, I'm pretty sure like, you know, you're gonna share at some point. Yeah. But yeah, I went in deep, but yeah, they haven't been back home, and that's one thing I want to help with.
So let me ask, because you know I'm you know, kid from America. I don't really know you know, cultures really outside of you know, African American experience.
Right.
On ancestry, like I know that, you know, I got some roots in Nigeria.
That's dope.
So I imagine, because I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like you kind of grew up kind of American, but the culture of your parents is different.
Yeah, it definitely is.
How was that like growing up? Like because they would see one thing, but you know, American.
Yeah. So one of the things my mom used to tell me was they didn't want to force the culture on us.
I got you.
So as we were kids, so like, you know how some parents, like especially African parents, they'll make sure that their kids speak like the language, or they'll speak some type of language, or the French, so they can be able to communicate with their parents and also have that culture intertwined. Different for us. We didn't grow up, me and my little brother, we really didn't. I mean, we weren't taught to do that. But the good thing about it is for me, like I already had that inkling or that mindset to already know what they're saying.
Yeah.
So it's like I can respond in English.
I got you.
My brother, on the other hand, he really don't know. But for me, I've been around it so much, and I'm a little older, so it's like I understand what they're saying.
Right.
So for him, it's different. But growing up, they didn't force culture on us. I was like living in Bladensburg as a kid. So elementary school for me was kind of like a discovery phase, because my first 4 years of elementary school, I was in speech education.
Oh wow.
Speech education because she said I wouldn't talk.
Yeah.
So my dad like, why is he not talking? Why is he not talking? And my dad was like, bro, maybe he don't want to talk. And normally, you know, speech education classes are people that stutter, that kind of repeat themselves, like they have a hard time like speaking.
Right.
So for me, it actually helped me, because now a lot of people, I'm really articulate. So like,
yeah, definitely.
I express myself, and it also gave me a voice. Not knowing, I didn't discover that until really this year or last year, that the reason, you know, it all went back full circle. It was just like, hey, this is why mom put me in speech class, because my voice needs to be heard. I need to speak clearly.
Yeah.
So that definitely helped. And then 5th grade was kind of like the moment that I kind of already knew that film, TV, and all that was going to be my path. So I was actually asked by my 5th grade teacher, Mr. White. Mr. White asked, he made an announcement in class one day before we were leaving. He was like, yeah, well, our school's having a morning show, and I'm going to see if there's some students that would like to be a part. He handpicked and selected me.
Wow.
I was a part of the morning show, not knowing that the school that we were at is a brand new school. First year we went there, not knowing that the school had like all this video equipment just sitting in the room.
Wow.
Just sitting in the studio. So we went downstairs to the media center, and the person who was the media specialist happens to be someone that I call like my second mother. She's like everything to me. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be talking to you right now about this.
Isn't it funny how God does that? Like he knows just when to kind of jump.
Yes. Yes. So she she basically taught us everything, and she introduced us to TV production at an early age. So at age 10, I was introduced at that. When I got into sixth grade, I had an idea of doing a spinoff of Bladensburg High School's digital yearbook.
Oh, okay.
My sister went to Bladensburg.
Yeah.
So I did a digital yearbook of their whole senior year.
Yeah.
Like a send away. So I was like, man, we getting ready to go to middle school. Let's do a sixth grade yearbook.
Yeah.
So I was the one who directed it, edited it, and produced it at age 11. I'll never forget, and I'll send you the video. But I'll never forget the nights where I used to like edit, like the same way I'm here in this room.
Yeah.
I was in there. We used to have the little DV tapes and record on them to convert them. Like crazy. That was the first time working with a Mac at that point.
Okay.
Working on iMovie and all that. So I was doing that at age 10, 11. And I'll never forget one of the videos that's actually on the yearbook. And it's crazy because I have it on DVD still. I have it till this day. I watched it like maybe 2 months ago and I was in tears.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because it's just how God has just, the evolution of these.
Yeah.
But the video that I'm talking about is I did a grab of basically like, okay, so we basically did like an interview with all the people that are part of the morning show. And my interview was the last interview. And one of the questions that was asked was, what are your future plans? What would you like to be? You know, and one of the things I said was, I want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, you know, I'm a technician. I don't know what that looks like. So I didn't know what that meant to me until now. So it's like, looking back at that video, I was like one of those people that like, I really didn't know what to say. I was a little nervous. Yeah. I was promising. I knew what the promise was, but I didn't know at the time like it would be so big like now. So that's middle school was my phase where I was just like, I wanted to play basketball and play basketball. And as I got into college, that's when things kind of like started like to be like, all right, gotta do some different things. So I was definitely pissed because I wanted to go to Full Sail for all that. Yeah, I just couldn't afford it. Yeah. So I ended up going to community college. So I went to Prince George's for a semester. Then I started going to Montgomery. Then I played ball in Montgomery and studied in graphic design. And I'm kind of glad that I studied in graphic design there because I was able to not only learn how to do logos and all that, but I was able to do my own. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of birthed something in me. So 2015 was when I birthed my brand, Didas Visuals. Okay. And decided to create the logo. And it's crazy because my brother gave me the name because I have 2 D's in my name. Yeah. So it's The Rock, Ed and Eddie, the cartoon show. So of course Double D is what my brother calls me. Double D, Ed and Eddie. So we put 2 D's together. It's like Didas Visuals. So with a Z. So 2015 we did that and going to Bowie and finishing up at Bowie.
HBCU.
Yep. And also, Bowie was good enough to the point where I didn't have to take out no loans. Everything was paid for. So I had the grades, and also I just applied for scholarships. That's what's up. So I already kind of like had the ball rolling already. So when I came to Bowie, I switched my major to film. I did that because I felt as though like God is calling me to the film route.
There's a difference between like wanting to work in film and being an entrepreneur. Yeah. So how did you make the decision to want to actually be an entrepreneur and work for yourself? Because that's a whole nother thing.
That is, oh man. So it was a nerve-wracking decision. The former church I was attending, I was working there as well. Okay. So it was to that point where I was just like, I can do this myself. I can make the same money I'm making with them in a day. Okay. Easy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the thing about it was, I thought of it as okay, it might be a consistent thing where I have a gig like almost every week or every day or every month. When I quit that job, when I started full time in April, like I only had maybe like 3 gigs in April.
Yeah. Wow.
And May was slow.
Yeah.
June was a little slow. July picked up as soon as the first hit.
Yeah.
It's just been that ever since.
That's what's up. So if you don't want to answer this next question, it's cool. But I want to go here, man. So like part of my story is I'm a church kid. Like my father my father's a pastor. My grandfather was a pastor. Like ever since I can remember, I've always just kind of been in and around church, and more so a deliverance type of church, to where, anything that you could be going through, dealing with, let's go to the altar and, put it out there and let's let God, do his thing. Now you mentioned therapy, and that's always, even outside of church, just in the Black community, it's been a stigma. But, over the past few years, it's kind of become more normalized, especially for us as Black men. So talk about, your not necessarily your experience. I don't need you to go there, but just kind of your decision to actually, seek out some therapy.
So, my therapist that I have now has a Christian background, back in the area, and also has an African background.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
related.
Yeah, that's good.
Able to talk to him like on anything when it comes to that. So as a result, started therapy beginning of May. One of the things that I went to therapy for was my background. Why I act the way I act, as my decision making or anything influenced by my family. I also went there for past family trauma. I've dealt with back in the day.
I want to commend you for doing the work. A lot of people can just kind of just say this is just what it is, especially us as Black men. But you're doing the work, man, and I commend you. I want you to know I'm here. I'm a resource for you. Shoot me a text. Just let me know. Hey, we need to talk, and I'm here, man. Whatever I can do, I'm here. I do want to switch gears before I let you go real quick. This is supposed to be a sneaker conversation, so I gotta get.
I know, man. It didn't turn into testimony time.
This is cool. I like this. So, 2 times, Didas. 2 times, I've came to church and I've seen your footwear, and I've been like, man, I was getting ready to wear them today. So I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to show you 2 pair of shoes, and I just want to know your thoughts on each one. So the first one, I got the pine green Blazers.
Ooh, so I used to wear Blazers back in the day.
Okay.
So what color is the actual? Is that white and green?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I used to wear Blazers in 9th grade.
Okay.
I'm not really a huge fan of them right now because I don't know. I don't really feel like I can wear them again with anything that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Just in my opinion.
Yeah.
But they still hot. People still wear them. They still going to be classic. They're still always going to be around. So yeah.
Okay. So Blazers to me are just like you said, classic. Like you can never go wrong if you got Blazers on and it matches. Like you they don't cost a lot and they're always going to be.
Yeah.
All right. And so the second one is Jubilees.
Oh man, I gotta show you my pair now. Look, when you saw me wear mine, yo, I love these, man. Like I love these Jones, man. Like these.
So these were December 2020 release.
Yeah.
So tell me about how you got them. Was this the sneakers app? Did you get them resale? Like how did you go about getting these?
So I actually have a plug. So my bros, my boys, I went to high school with, he actually like, does the whole like flipping them and all that. So like whenever he has a release or releases coming out, I always go to him and be like, hey, can you get them for me?
Yeah.
and be like, gotta slide me some extra money. So
Yeah, of course.
I would pay maybe $50 over from retail.
Yeah.
So
I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation between me and Didas. Didas, thank you for being transparent. Thank you for being honest. I think a lot of people's lives are going to be blessed from your transparency today. Again, let me reiterate, if you guys haven't liked or subscribed, please do so now. I'm trying to grow the community, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Have a blessed day.